Good morning. So we're going to sit together for about 45 minutes and I will end our meditation with a ding. Ding. Yeah, so I'm going to read a sutta this morning on the gradual training. You can find many suttas like this. And the reason that I wanted to read this sutta on the gradual training is because the more that we remind ourselves that the practice of the Dharma is a gradual process, gradually unfolding process, the less we crave for new dramatic things to happen. The less as well we cling to any nice experiences we might have along the way. Instead, we just get on with this one foot in front of the other on the Noble Eightfold Path. In a different sutta, the Buddha said, just as when the shore meets the ocean, just as it inclines gradually to the ocean, so too the mind inclines gradually to liberation. No big cliff drop off. No drama. So here is the sutta. Thus I've heard, on one occasion the Buddha was living at Savatthi in the eastern park in the palace of Megara's mother. Then the Brahmin Ganaka Moggallana went to the Buddha and exchanged greetings with him. When this courteous and amiable talk was finished, he sat down at one side and said to the Buddha, Master Gautama, in this palace of Megara's mother there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress, that is, down to the last step of the staircase. Among these Brahmins too there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress, that is, their study of the Vedas. Among archers too there can be seen gradual training in archery, and among accountants like us who are now living by accountancy, there can also be seen gradual training, that is, in computation. For when we get an apprentice, first we make him count. 1 times 1, 2 twos, 3 threes, 4 fours, 5 fives, 6 sixes, and so on. We make him count to 100 too. Now it's also possible, Master Gautama, to describe gradual training, gradual practice. Now is it also possible, Master Gautama, to describe gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual progress in this Dharma and discipline? The Buddha says it is possible, Brahmin, to describe gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual progress in this Dharma and discipline. Just as Brahmin, when a clever horse trainer obtains a fine thoroughbred colt, he first makes him get used to wearing the bit and afterwards trains him further. So too, when the Tathagata obtains a person to be tamed, he first disciplines him in this way. Come, bhikkhu, be virtuous, restrained with the restraint of the Patimokkha, that's the monastic rules. Perfect your conduct and see fear in the slightest fault. Train by undertaking the training precepts. Some of the training precepts there are the ones that I was saying about making no sound, for example. When Brahmin, a bhikkhu is virtuous, seeing fear in the slightest fault, training by undertaking the training precepts, then I discipline him further. Come, bhikkhu, guard the doors of your sense faculties. On seeing a form with the eye, do not grasp at its signs and features, since if you were to leave the eye faculty unguarded, unwholesome states of craving and aversion might invade you. Practice the way of its restraint. Guard the eye faculty. Undertake the restraint of the eye faculty. In the same way, on hearing a sound with the ear, smelling a smell with the nose, on tasting a flavour with the tongue, on touching a tangible object with the body, cognizing a mind object with the mind, don't grasp at its signs and features, since if you were to leave the faculties unguarded, unwholesome states might invade you. Practice the way of their restraint. Guard the faculties. Undertake restraint of the faculties. When Brahmin, a bhikkhu, guards the doors of the faculties, then I discipline him further. Come, bhikkhu, be moderate in eating. Reflecting wisely, you should take food neither for amusement, nor for intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the continuance of this body, for ending discomfort and assisting in the holy life, considering, I will get rid of old feelings of hunger without arousing new feelings, and I shall be healthy and blameless, and I shall live in comfort. When Brahmin, a bhikkhu, is moderate in eating, then I discipline him further. Come, bhikkhu, be devoted to wakefulness. During the day, whilst walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. In the first watch of the night, whilst walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. In the middle watch of the night, you should lie down on the right side in the lion's pose with one foot overlapping the other, mindful and fully aware. After noting in your mind the time for rising. After rising, in the third watch of the night, whilst walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu, is devoted to wakefulness, then I instruct him further. Come, bhikkhu, be possessed of mindfulness and full awareness. Act in full awareness when going forwards and returning. Act in full awareness when looking ahead and looking away. Act in full awareness when flexing and extending your limbs. Act in full awareness when wearing your robes and carrying your bowl. Act in full awareness when eating, drinking, consuming food and tasting. Act in full awareness when defecating and urinating. Act in full awareness when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking and keeping silent. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu, possesses mindfulness and full awareness, then the Buddha instructs him further. Come, bhikkhu, resort to a secluded resting place, the forest, the root of a tree, a mountain, a ravine, a hillside cave, a cemetery, a jungle thicket, an open space, a heap of straw, maybe the Dhamma Dena Meditation Centre. He resorts to a secluded resting place. On returning from his alms round after his meal, he sits down, folding his legs crosswise, setting his body straight, and establishing mindfulness before him. Abandoning craving for the world, he abides with a mind free from craving. He purifies his mind from craving. Abandoning ill will and hatred, he abides with a mind free from ill will, compassionate for the welfare of all living beings. He purifies his mind from ill will and hatred. Abandoning sloth and torpor, he abides free from sloth and torpor, percipient of light, mindful and fully aware. He purifies his mind from sloth and torpor. Abandoning restlessness, he abides unagitated with a mind inwardly peaceful. He purifies his mind from restlessness. Abandoning doubt, he abides having gone beyond doubt. Unperplexed about wholesome states, he purifies his mind from doubt. Having abandoned these 5 hindrances, imperfections of the mind that weaken wisdom, quite secluded from sense pleasure and secluded from unwholesome states, he enters and abides in the first jhana, which is accompanied by sustained thought, with joy and pleasure born of seclusion. With the stilling of applied and sustained thought, he enters and abides in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and singleness of mind without applied and sustained thought, with joy and pleasure born of concentration. With the fading away of joy, he abides in equanimity, and mindful and fully aware, still feeling pleasure, he enters and abides in the third jhana, on account of which noble ones announce he has a pleasant abiding with equanimity and is mindful. With the abandoning of pleasure and pain, and with the previous disappearance of joy, he enters and abides in the fourth jhana, which is neither painful nor pleasant, and has purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. This is my instruction, Brahmin, to those bhikkhus who are in the higher training, whose minds have not yet attained the goal, who abide aspiring to supreme security from bondage, nibbana. But these things conduce both to a pleasant abiding here and now, and to mindfulness and full awareness for those bhikkhus who are arahants with taints destroyed, who have lived the holy life and done what had to be done, laid down the burden and reached their goal, destroyed the fetters of being, and are completely liberated through knowledge. When this was said, the Brahmin Ganakamoggallana asked the Buddha, when Master Gotama's disciples are thus advised and instructed by him, do they all attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, or do some not attain it? And the Buddha says, when Brahmin, they are advised and instructed by me, some of my disciples attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it. Master Gotama, since Nibbana exists and the path leading to Nibbana exists, and Master Gotama is present as the guide, what's the cause and reason why, when Master Gotama's disciples are thus advised and instructed by him, some of them attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it? As to that, Brahmin, says the Buddha, I will ask you a question in return. Answer it as you choose. What do you think, Brahmin? Are you familiar with the road leading to Rajagaha? Yes, Master Gotama, I am familiar with the road leading to Rajagaha. What do you think, Brahmin? Suppose a man came who wanted to go to Rajagaha, and he approached you and said, Venerable Sir, I want to go to Rajagaha. Show me the road. Then you told him, now, good man, this road goes to Rajagaha. Follow it for a while and you'll see a certain village. Go a little further and you'll see a certain town. Go a little further and you'll see Rajagaha with its lovely parks, groves, meadows and ponds. Then, having been thus advised and instructed by you, he would take a wrong road and would go to the west. Then a second man came to you who wanted to go to Rajagaha, and he approached you and said, Venerable Sir, I want to go to Rajagaha, show me the road. So you told him, now, good man, this is the road to Rajagaha, follow it for a while, and so on, and eventually you will see Rajagaha with its lovely parks, groves, meadows and ponds. Then, having been thus advised and instructed by you, he would arrive safely in Rajagaha. Now, Brahmin, since Rajagaha exists, and the path leading to Rajagaha exists, and you are present as the guide, what is the cause and reason why, when those men have been thus advised and instructed by you, one man takes a wrong road and goes to the west, and one arrives safely in Rajagaha? What can I do about that, Master Gotama? I am one who shows the way. So too, Brahmin, Nibbana exists, and the path leading to Nibbana exists, and I am present as the guide, yet when my disciples have been thus advised and instructed by me, some of them attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it. What can I do about that, Brahmin? The Buddha is the one who shows the way. When this was said, the Brahmin Ganakamoggallana said to the Buddha, Magnificent, Master Gotama, magnificent. Master Gotama has made the Dharma clear in many ways, as though he were turning upright what had been overturned, revealing what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, or holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see. I go to Master Gotama for refuge, and to the Dhamma and to the Sangha of bhikkhus. Let Master Gotama remember me as a lay follower who has gone to refuge for him for life. So there is one of many teachings on the gradual training. Again, we need to remember not to cling or crave for dramatic things. Path unfolds gradually as the shore gently inclines to the ocean, and we continue one foot in front of the next, this gradual training.